Hello, YouTube friends and family. Just want to say thank you again for all of the love and support I've gotten from you guys. It's just been really nice to come on and check my comments and check my likes and just to see all the people that I'm reaching with my journey. And I wanted to come on here today and kind of talk about something that not a lot of people understand, which is the pleural effusions. I think it's still confusing for a lot of cancer patients and just people who've never dealt with them before, like what they are and how you can treat them. So I wanted to say my cancer journey started out with me pretty much, if I wouldn't have had that breast surgery that found the lump, I would have discovered that my cancer was stage 4 because of the pleural effusions. So what it is when cancer gets in your blood, it can spread pretty much wherever it decides to go at that point in your body. Just my luck, it decided to go to my pleural area, which is the sac that holds your lungs. So a lot of people who don't have cancer, the only way you'd be familiar with pleural effusions if you had like a really bad case of pneumonia. I had a friend say she got them when she was pregnant. Gemma. Sorry, my dog going crazy while I'm trying to make a video. Little Yorkie. Hyperactive. So, anyway, so that's really the only time that someone who doesn't have cancer, and there may be some other times that I just don't know about. I'm just thinking from my experience that you would have to deal with it. And most of the time, people who get them, there she is, the loud one. You get it drained, and then you don't have to worry about it anymore. It's kind of like a one and done type thing. Like you get the fluid out, and then it just doesn't come back. But since mine was due to the cancer, the fluid kept coming back. And it was, in the beginning, it was a lot of fluid. It was like a liter every 2 days. So I was like draining like 500 milliliters every day, which is a lot of fluid to come out of a part of your body. And it was just the cancer that was making the fluid. And so right now, my lungs, like the reason I'm on oxygen is not because my lungs have cancer. My lungs actually don't have any cancer. It's just they are so damaged from the fluid. Because when fluid sits on your lungs for so long, especially I've had my fluid come and go, you start to build up scar tissue around the bottom of your lungs. So my lungs right now, there's no fluid. Like I have a catheter in, but I'm actually getting it removed tomorrow. But there's no fluid anymore. But I'm still having trouble breathing because I have so much damage to my lung, especially my right lung, because that's the primary side that my cancer's on, is my right side. So it likes to come to that right sac side and get my right lung. So my right lung, I would say from like halfway down. So I only have like half of my right lung that I can use because the bottom half is so damaged and has so much scar tissue from the fluid. So one thing you can do, or that they will suggest to cancer patients, is you can keep getting it drained, and that procedure is actually called a thoracentesis. So what they do with a thoracentesis is they give you a numbing shot. It's usually like right around the side of your back, and they go in between your ribs. So they give you a numbing shot. They cut a small hole, and they stick in, kind of like if you've ever been in the hospital and you see those suction things they use for, say when you have like one of those pee cups in. It's that same suction bottle that's on the wall, but instead of sucking pee, it's obviously sucking the fluid out. So they can do it that way, but when you have the fluid that's constantly returning, it's not as beneficial because then you have to get thoracentesis like every week. And getting in touch with pulmonologists and hospital every week and scheduling those, I didn't have the best of luck doing that. Like I just always had problems making it like an actual routine. I had trouble getting in touch with people to get that scheduled. So both times I've had the fluid that was returning due to my cancer, I elected to get the catheter. And the catheter is on my side right here. When I first got it, it was directly on my side, which was painful because it's uncomfortable to sleep. Like you're having trouble like not touching it to where it isn't irritated. But this time when I got in the catheter, he put it more towards my front, so it's actually right here. So it's a lot more comfortable. It's easy to change. It's easy to clean. And I wanted to show you how you care for draining your catheter. So this is the bottle or the kit that they'll give you. They'll give you a bunch of these when you leave the hospital with your catheter, and through your insurance they'll get you someone set up so you can get these delivered to your house for free. I mean, my insurance covers it completely. And I'm just gonna open this up real quick. So this is what the bottle looks like, and this bottle is a liter. So if you can imagine, I was doing a whole one of these every 2 days in the beginning. Like that's a lot of fluid. I mean, think about like a liter of soda or a liter of water. It's just a lot of fluid that you wouldn't think that just retains in your body. It's crazy. But ever since I've had this catheter in, I've only drained to like maybe this 50. Like it's been very low, like right at the bottom. And you can see here it goes from 50 to 1,000, which is the liter. So this is what it looks like. It's called Pleurx. It's kind of hard to see there. But pretty much what you'll do is you'll open this up, which is going to be all your sanitary items that you'll need. So this is the Tegaderm that comes with it. I have really sensitive skin, so this type of tape really irritates me. So in the beginning, I didn't know that I had this allergy. And so every time my wife was changing these for me, like pretty much every other day, I was breaking out in like really bad blisters and rashes. So I don't use it anymore. They're not for me. I use this tape. It's this blue tape. It's the hypoallergenic like 3M tape. And I just tape over the whole catheter. So it'll come in like this kit. And in this kit, you have your gloves because you have to make sure this is sanitary because it's pretty much a tube. You can imagine the bottle, like this same thickness of a tube is the thickness of the catheter, and it has a cap on it so it stays closed, which they give you a new cap to put on your catheter every time you change it. Just looks like this. So it's a tube with a cap, and so when you change it, you have to take your alcohol wipes and you take off your cap of your catheter, which has like a small hole that you will insert this into. That's the only way I know how to remove them. And so you would sanitize this part and sanitize your catheter. And then once you're ready to drain, you would turn this. This is pretty much your flow. So right now it's completely open. So you start out with it closed to kind of like, you don't want to create this pressure in your lungs. So you want to slowly release the pressure, which is the fluid. So you take this part off and then you press down on this. And once you have this in, that's pretty much when the flow will start from the, from your pleural area. So that's how you get the fluid out. So this is connected to your catheter. This is the pressure. So that's pretty much initiated. So now your fluid would start to drain. And you'll know you're done draining because the fluid will just start dripping. And since I had very little fluid this time around, which I got my catheter installed in February of this year. So just like almost 2 months ago, mine didn't have a really good flow. Like, it was very much a dripping process. But people who have a lot of fluid, especially in the beginning of your cancer diagnosis, and maybe your treatment hasn't kicked in yet, and maybe it just hasn't been able to dry up the fluid, you would have a constant flow of fluid coming in. But then once you see it dripping, you know you're done. So once you're done with that, you just close this off again. Take this out. And then you have this medical sponge, which has a slit in it. So you could put this around your catheter. So it would look like this. So your catheter would be hanging there. And you kind of just wrap it around. And then you put this gauze on it to cover it. And that's when you tape it up or put that Trichoderm on it. And they give you this little clamp, which I've never had to use. They say to use it to just clamp off your fluid, but really, me and my wife said we only use these in case of emergency, like there was a leak or something. You have these clamps on hand that you can use to clamp off where the leak is. And then pretty much once you tape that up, then you're done. You just throw all this away. And these kits are great because they have everything sanitized and in one place when you get them, so you don't have to worry about ordering like extra stuff unless you're like me, where I wasn't draining a lot, so I was maybe only doing that process once a week since I got it. So I bought the sponges and the gauze, and I've been able to change it and clean it myself without doing the bottle and stuff, because you don't want to use a bottle every time. You just want to clean it. Oh, thank you, JoJo. This is my baby JoJo. She likes to kiss right on the mouth. But yeah, so I've been able to, I had a medical wish list that my friends and family were so nice to fill for me. It had a bunch of my tape, which is pretty pricey. That hypoallergenic tape, it's a 3M tape, and it comes with like 8 rolls of tape, and they're about this big and about this thick, and they go through pretty fast, especially if you're cleaning it every few days. And so that tape there's 8 in a packet, and it's like $50, almost $60 a box, so it can get a little pricey. And then like the gauze and the sponges and the rest of the stuff, it just kind of adds up after a while. I think when I first got my catheter put in, I spent like $200 on medical supplies, just getting the tape and the sponges and just the wipes, like all the extra stuff I needed. But thankfully, I'm getting it out tomorrow, and I'm so excited because I like to take a bath and relax, put on a candle, get my tablet, put on a show. But since I'm not able to soak anymore, I haven't been able to take a bath, and I'm really looking forward to taking a bath. Hopefully by next week, it'll be healed up enough and I could take me a nice relaxing bath. But I do start my new chemo on Friday, so in 2 days, I start my new chemo, and it's going to be at Emory in Atlanta. And I'm very excited. The team there has been super helpful getting everything set up for me. And I'm excited to kind of see where my new scenery is going to be. I mean, I'm at chemo and stuff more than I've been at work. Unfortunately, I spend more time there than I'm able to spend at my own job. But luckily, my work has been very nice, and it's been very accommodating. So yeah, I'll definitely take some pictures and maybe even some videos and update everyone, and just kind of like log for my references, just to kind of see how far I've come and my journey and everything. But if you made it this far, I know I did like a little TED Talk on pleural effusions and catheters, but thank you for watching, and until next time, I'll see you later.